How's it going? It is all the news all the time. My name is Felix. Hello, how are you? Um, yeah, sometimes I don't believe what I'm reading, and sometimes I don't believe what I'm reading, but it's actually true. And we may be looking at some sort of situation like that right now. This is all allegations, as far as I know, and I know that the newspaper themselves and Dan Wooton himself is going to be suing these people and is making a claim that he's suing these people for this statement, for these allegations. So there's a good, strong sense that these allegations are vehemently denied by Dan Wooton. So I think we have to take them very much in that spirit, that they are allegations and they are unproven and speculative, and we have to take everything with a pinch of salt, and we have to look at it in terms of legal liability. Are we promoting something that is completely unfounded and untrue? And in which case, we need to be very, very careful and very cautious. But let's have a look at the allegations, and that's exactly what they are, allegations. As yet, nothing has been proved. But as it says here, Dan Wooton paid porn stars, all right, with the son's money, son's Depp money, for covert catfish sex videos. That's a complicated thing to unpack. Dan Wooton, that's this guy, paid, I can't keep saying that word or I'll get demonetized, spicy stars. These are male spicy stars. With the money he got from the Sun newspaper that he worked at, for what he claims is a story about Johnny Depp, which was, well, he claims that the money that the Sun newspaper is going to pay him to pay these people is for this story about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But really, he used the money from the Sun newspaper, which he said was for this story. He used it to pay to secretly film spicy, can't say that word either, spicy videos with male participants. I mean, that's a crazy thing to say. All this is allegations, of course. And I'm thinking, what? In the fourth part of its 3-year special investigation, Byline Times reveals how the GB News presenter, that's Dan Wooton, and the Mail Online columnist used the News UK cash to pay male adult actors to secretly film themselves having relations with men he targeted on Facebook. Now, it has to be remembered that this is the guy that brought this initial trouble and harassment and strife to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Well, to Johnny Depp, and he's in collusion. He was in collusion with Amber Heard. I think that's incontrovertible and evidential from the photos and the relationship. But yeah, so this is the guy that first put that story out. I shall get the story. And as you can see here, we have the story from the Sun newspaper going back to 2018, 27th of April. Here we have Dan Wooton in his grinning photo. And then we have J.K. Rowling and Johnny Depp and Amber Heard there. How can J.K. Rowling be genuinely happy casting Johnny Depp in the new Fantastic Beasts film after assault claims? This is from Dan Wooton. Dan Wooton once again. So we've had 3 times we've had to read his name. For a holier-than-thou Twitterati preacher. Oh, the hubris. The hubris. You think you're holier than thou. J.K. Rowling tries to present herself as a leading light for women in the entertainment industry. Well, clearly, J.K. Rowling, multi-billionaire, and writer of seven novels, and maybe more. I'm not too up on J.K. Rowling, but clearly she wrote the most popular movie franchise, book franchise in history. But yeah, she's using every trick in her Harry Potter's magic book to handle the growing outrage in Hollywood over her decision to stand by the casting of JD in the leading role in her previous precious Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them franchise. There's J.K. Rowling herself, and sharp criticism. Today I reveal a significant backlash from within the hashtag #MeToo and Time's Up movement. Well, they've come under criticism themselves because the Scot is hell-bent on backing her famous pal, despite his clearly inexcusable behaviour towards ex-wife Amber Heard, which in my personal opinion, and in the opinion of many people and in the courts, is a complete fabrication. Rowling is proving herself to be the worst type of Hollywood hypocrite. Oh, the hubris. Oh, how the tables have turned. How the turns have tabled. Her claim that she is genuinely happy to have Depp star as a central character, Dark Wizard Gellert Grindelwald, in her big-budget film sequel, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, provides him total rehabilitation in the eyes of the movie industry. Well, it should have done, because it was all lies. She is condoning behaviour that she would be loudly slamming on social media if it was true. If it was a male executive making the same decision as JD, going with the old triple earrings. He's been slapped with a restraining order from the lying sea witch. So let me be very clear for the benefit of apparently unaware Rowling, I always hate that word, overwhelming evidence was filed to show Johnny Depp engaged in DV against his wife, AH. She was granted a restraining order after alleging Depp assaulted her following a drunken argument and submitted photographs. It's amazing how the camera can lie to the court, showing her bruised face. AH, backed up by numerous friends on the record. Sorry, I find this quite funny. It's quite good looking back with 2020 vision. Recounted a detailed history of fabrication and lies, of domestic abuse incidents, some of which were completely untrue, in fact all of which were untrue, had led to fearing for her life, fearing for her finances. According to the court's documents, there were kicks, punches, shoves, and all-out assault on Johnny Depp by Amber Heard. While Depp's many high-powered friends accused AH of simply seeking a payout, and they are correct, she proved them wrong by committing to donate all of the $5 million she received to charity. Well, didn't that go wrong? Didn't that go wrong indeed? Did she donate any of it? No. No, she didn't. Nice coat. I like the boots as well. No, I don't. I did for a second, then I don't. If Rowling is the supporter of women's rights she claims, she may well be. Well, she's not supporting liars and fabricators. Has she been blinded by a personal friendship with Depp? Possibly. After all, she coveted him enough to have spent £22 million, but buying his old yacht, nice, which he ironically renamed for the Sea Witch. Is that the name of the yacht, the Sea Witch? Rowling is a powerful figure who likes to slaughter anyone who dares publicly question her morals or decisions. Well, she's Genghis Khan or something. But today, two brave members of Me Too Time's Up, these bunch of grifters, both victims of Harvey Weinstein, I want to say his name properly, go public to question her decision fabrications. In a message to Rowling, actress Caitlin Delaney, no idea, says, "We would like to see things change in this industry and not see people who have been allegedly victimized women. Not see people who have allegedly victimized women." Yeah, it was allegations which were then found to be wrong, unprovable and false. It is not much of a change if you are seeing people rewarded with roles. No platforming people for things is always bad. Censorship is always bad as well. If you have a problem, speak to them, have a debate, have a conversation. Banning people because you can't handle it is appalling. This is my personal opinion on literally most points. Amber has been through a difficult time. Yeah. Has she though? But has she though? Or has she just said she has and she wants money? But it seems like what happened hasn't really affected Johnny. Oh, good. We would like to see things change in this industry, and this is an example of that not happening. Shut up, Caitlin. Actress Kathleen Kendall adds, "I don't stand behind hitting people or abusing people," and it seems that Amber did that. As someone who's been the victim of SA and a supporter of Me Too and telling my story to help others, I cannot advocate violence, nor can I. People shouldn't hit people. Amber, you shouldn't hit people. I think it's a confusing message to put people in roles that are aimed at children and young people if there's a suggestion they've done something of that nature. That's right, AH. Why are you still in Aquaman 2? So here's some 5 questions Rowling must answer, according to Dan, paying people for spicy photos, Wooton, allegedly. Do you take DV accusations as seriously as sexual harassment, given your support of the Me Too movement? This is to run. Yes, we do. If so, do you believe AH detailed 2006 court filing detailing abuse allegations, which included pictures showing her injuries and accounts by other bit? No, we don't. Why did Depp agree to pay $5 million as a settlement, including a confidentiality agreement, if there's no truth to the allegations? Because it was a biased and almost incontestable court system. You admitted last year there were legitimate questions about Depp's casting. What are these and how did you overcome them? I have no idea. Probably related to partying and staying out late. AH appeared to suggest on Instagram that he had taken a divorce settlement out of context in order to defend Depp's casting. Yeah, that divorce statement, that comes across as extortion, doesn't it? It really is extortion. And as we can see here, Warner Brothers releases the film in November, and Mr. Depp has made a legal complaint about this article, and the article is subject of legal proceedings, which followed. Yeah, very interesting indeed. So what else? What else are we looking at? Well, there's the picture of our good old Dan and the Sea Witch together. Let me address the elephant in the room. You may know that for the past few months, JD has been suing both my newspaper, The Sun, and me personally for a column I wrote questioning whether J.K. Rowling should have cast the troubled actor in her Fantastic Beasts franchise following a string of domestic abuse incidents against his wife, the Sea Witch. But today is not about JD. In fact, I'd be happy never to hear the bloke's name again. Oh, you are. You are going to hear his name. I certainly won't be talking about him anymore. Oh, yeah, you will. Oh, yeah, you will. Even though I do hope he's able to get the help he so obviously needs. Oh, what is that? That's that condescending, patronizing, holier than thou attitude. I do hope he'll get the help he so obviously needs. Jesus Christ. I mean, if these allegations against you, my friend, are true, the hypocrisy, the level of hypocrisy is astounding. It's astounding. It must be a world record level of hypocrisy. Today is about the Sea Witch. Thank you, Amber, for your bravery. Jesus Christ, I'm having trouble reading this. I'm really having trouble now. The bravery and the holier than thou attitude. Oh, God, you can't make it up with these two. I mean, they're a match made in hell. These two, they should get married. They really should, and have horrible, horrible children. Yeah, they should have horrible, horrible children together. And they should have names like Rat Face and Knife Eyes or something. That's what they should do. Jesus, could you imagine the horror? Let's move on and let's not look at them anymore. So I was looking at this. Amber Heard back in 2015. There's a reason why she was so fated, reason why she was so popular. You cannot deny she is actually she was a stunning woman. But that's all she had going for her. She had facial beauty and presence and personality and character of a sewer rat, which is not a good combination, my friends. It's not a good combination. You can be good looking, but if you are a vile, poisonous insectoid on the inside, it's not going to go well, is it? It's not. They say beauty is only skin deep, and Amber Heard is a clear example, very much of that, very much indeed. As you can see here, People magazine recently saying Amber Heard in the Fire director. Can I say that joke one more time? No. Amber Heard Fire director says she has an incredibly bright future ahead, he says, and they're not sleeping together. Not at all. No, she's has a comeback movie on her hands, the film's director said. I was looking at the In the Fire film on IMDb. No one has paid a single penny to see it so far. It's been released at the film festivals where people just go and watch it for free, and it's not been released anywhere else. So literally not a single person has paid a penny of any description to go and see this film. I don't think they're going to. This film could be absolutely losing every single penny it made, every single penny it cost. And that amuses me no end. And if you think that they're not sleeping together, you don't know the Sea Witch. You don't know how she operates. So what else is going on? Oh yeah, this is why she's so pretty, and what she was. She's the most beautiful face in the world, according to science. I think you put that in quotation marks. Followed by Kim K and Kate Moss, who has a perfect forehead. Well, there's a claim to fame, if ever I've heard one. Johnny Depp's estranged wife, not really. Kim Kardashian came second, according to that, and Kate Moss was third. And ancient Greeks claimed there was a golden ratio. This claim to ancient mystical knowledge is always a bit weak. If they were so wise, how come they didn't have mobile phones? Anyway, Johnny Depp's estranged wife, there she is the most beautiful woman in the world, according to facial mapping. Not even close. Not even close. AH's face was found to be 91% accurate to the golden ratio. All right. Well, you couldn't find a woman with 92 in the whole world. No, you just picked out a few celebrities and sort of came up with the idea. Right. So using the theory, computer mapping technology also found that Kim Kardashian had perfect eyebrows. The bar is set very low. Scarlett Johansson came on top for her eyes, and Rihanna's face shape was deemed the most beautiful. while Emily Ratajkowski's lips and Kamos's forehead were also praised. is praised for limited ability there. As you can see there, Johnny Depp's estranged wife, the Sea Witch, has the most beautiful face. They've just overlaid some lines on her face and then make some claims. And if you look at the lines, they don't actually match up with anything. They just plonk some lines down and then go, oh yeah, I mean, this eyebrow just chops right through, and the lips just chop through, and they end in the wrong place. And there's an arbitrary point where this stops. It's all a bit arbitrary and just guesswork. I guess it was a slow news day. What do we got here? We've got, this is a computer version of the same thing, and we've got Kim Kardashian. Honestly, they use different lines for different people, and then make some claims. Like, why is this there, and what's this about, and why none of it lines up, and yeah, so 91.85 they claim, and they've only looked at celebrities because no other women can, of course, look good unless you're a celebrity. So there you go. Unless you're a celebrity, you cannot be attractive. That's what we've learned from this article here, and that's a bollocks. Days. Moving on. Now we've got Amber Heard in Spain. There she is, poisoning Spain and being like smog in Spain, doing her general attitude. She should be in that film, Snow White. She should be the evil witch. Is it evil stepmother? People got issues with stepmoms. Anyway, moving on. Dan Wooton is a wife beater. I was looking for the article there, quite interesting. And this comes from the tweet, the tweet from it as well. Looking at the timeline of the situation, this was back in 2018 when AH wrote the op-ed for Washington Post, and the allegations were made in the Sun newspaper. Before that, divorce was finalised in 2017. So going back to the Dan Wooton article, as we were, because it all ties in together, let's have a look. GB News presenter Dan Wooton paid adult film stars to meet gay men he had catfished in order to secretly record them having adult times. This Byline Times newspaper can reveal. I mean, what? So he's paying adult film stars to meet other men, so not himself, that he had catfished on social media to secretly record them. But why? Why is people alleging he does this? So he rented the Facebook profiles, so he borrowed Facebook profiles of people and paid them money, of at least 3 different male spicy performers for up to £500 a time before he poses as them, and then tricks his targets into meetings to be covertly filmed with cameras he supplied. The only thing I can think of is 2 reasons for this. One, he gets some form of sexual gratification from watching the videos, or 2, he can use the footage as either leverage for certain demands or financial gain. These are the only 2 things I can think of that why someone would do this and pay money to do this. But this is all allegations. It's all very strange. At least one of those meetings took place in a hotel, paid for by the Sun newspaper. The journalist also charged £1,500 to pay this star, this adult actor, for the private work, in quotation marks. And he charged the money, charged that fee to the News UK, and he disguised it as a payment for a contact for a front page story about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. So he says to his employer, I want £1,500, which I'm going to use to pay someone for their information about this story about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And the newspaper is like, okay, cool, here's your £1,500 to pay your source of information. And he gives the money to this adult actor, adult star, for this activity, filming some random guy or some guy that he knows that he's attracted on a false Facebook profile. What? What is going on? What is this? Hi, something. I need something set up. Oh, this is to the newspaper. Hi, I need this person's name set up as a new payee, a person who's going to get paid. He needs to put down for £1,500 urgently on the Amber Heard splash 4/5 from last week. Right. So he's saying to the newspaper, probably the cashier, I need you to put this person's name down. We're going to pay £1,500 to this guy, and it's for this story. But it isn't, though. This newspaper has interviewed 2 of the adult performers involved and has evidence from another man who also paid by Wooton to make secret tapes for him. Byline Times also have identified 2 of the victims of Wooton's catfishing conspiracy, which is separate to his other pseudonyms, Martin Branning and Maria Joseph, to trick scores of other male victims into revealing compromising sexual material. There's only 2 reasons behind this, and considering that the guy's a journalist, this is all allegations, but the sort of logical throughput is it's for to gather information and to be able to coerce people into manipulate them into telling you things, essentially extortion, blackmail. That's the allegation, isn't it? It's either that or it's for his own sexual gratification. But even then, it seems very targeted. But he's denying it vehemently. So this is all allegations and there's nothing provable. But there's investigations going on at the moment. This is talking about these. It goes on to talk about the actual activities themselves, when he was getting people to go along on Facebook and they were going to the other people's houses and they were filming things. And this adult entertainer said he allowed Wooton to use his Facebook profile because he wanted the money, and described seeing the star, that means Dan Wooton, 5 or 6 men, targeting 5 or 6 men from one account. He paid me to use my Facebook account, and then when I had enough time, I changed my password. And then after a while, Dan Wooton would message me. He said, I've got a guy here. Are you interested in coming down and filming it? By that, he means going down to the person's house or wherever and having some form of sexual interaction and filming it, and then giving Dan Wooton the footage. Wow. I mean, when you look at the end of the article, it goes on and on about this. Investigations are going on. Allegations have been put to the representatives of Dan Wooton. There's been no response. News UK did not respond to the Byline Times questions. It's appointed legal firm Kingsley Napley to investigate. Wooton's current employers, Mail Online and GB News, have not responded. And Wooton's twice weekly Mail Online column has not appeared since the investigation was published. But he is still appearing on GB News on the section Dan Wooton Tonight. Conservative MP Caroline Dinenage, Chair of the House of Commons, Digital Culture, Media and Sport Committee, has written to Victoria Newton, editor of The Sun, so it can set out what investigations are taking place. So it seems this is going to go further and higher, and we're going to get further news from this, because I don't think this is going to lie down easily. But again, this is all allegations. This is all speculative, and until there's some form of concrete evidence, we have to take it with a huge grain of salt. But it's extremely strange allegations that are going on. Very, very strange. They're looking for more information. So let me know what you think. I mean, there's a lot to think about here. There's a lot to think about, and when you put the two of these two together, it's a match made in hell, isn't it? If the allegations are true. And whew, well, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, that would be really nice. It really helps out the channel. And join the membership if you want to. That'd be fantastic. You get little icons, Johnny Depp icons in the chat. You just have to type in certain little codes, and you get a little Johnny Depp face when you chat in the comments, which is quite fun. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys later.